Welcome back to the channel. Today I thought we would just do something that we talk about a lot, but let's actually demonstrate the differences. And that is when you do your massage fast versus slow. So let's do one shoulder using some faster techniques and one shoulder doing slower. And I don't think you'll see much of a visible difference. You might see a bit more erythema, but it's more about the approach. So I've got some of the massage medium here, and we're just going to start with this side. So when you do a massage and it's faster, most of the reasons are because you want to invigorate, you want to boost the circulation, you want to wake up, you want to really get that blood moving, get that lymph moving. A lot of the time when people are having some sort of sports massage, you talk about pre-event and post-event. And a lot of the time the pre-event massage is the fast invigorating one, and then the post-event is the slower. So both have their place, but when you do a fast massage, you're not expecting the person to be relaxed, you're not expecting the person to fall asleep. Some people don't like massage because they actually don't like how slow it is. They associate it with being quite bored and actually clock watching because they just want the massage to be done. But look, already that's us just doing some fast erythema, and look at the difference. Already you can see that we're warming it up. So say that I'm doing some scooping movements and I'm really getting into that shoulder and I'm being quite fast and I'm being quite vigorous. Can you see how that redness is really taking effect here? And I'm working around the shoulder. I'm not doing anything other than just moving my arm around that shoulder joint and I'm just warming it up. But look, I'm getting that redness there. Now everybody's different though. Some people will become red quite quickly, some people it's quite slow, there's lots of different reasons. So it's only if you get excessive erythema that you should be concerned about it, because you might actually need just to slow things down, or it might even be like a little irritation to the massage or even the massage medium. But look at that, that's all we were doing, just using the base of our thumb just to work around that shoulder, and already we have erythema. I'm supporting here, but I can also use the knuckles, but look at the speed. So I'm actually using these knuckles here again to warm up the tissues, to work on knots and nodules, to boost circulation, to invigorate, to waken up if you like, to stimulate, all of these things. And I'm going at quite a speed, but you don't want to be going at such a speed that you're not actually doing the massage correctly, but you can be quite fast. You don't want your depth to be basically incorrect for the person. Everybody's different. So you would ask someone, how's the pressure? But you don't want it to be too light, you don't want it to be too heavy. It's just got to be right for that person and also right for you. And again, we always avoid the spine. But look at that, working with the knuckles, supporting with the thumb, just working on this area, wakening it up, invigorating it, feeling for knots and nodules, feeling for tightness, feeling for tension. We have erythema. So that's just some examples of how you can use fast movements. Again, obviously you've got like your hacking and your cupping. I won't do too much of that just now though, because we haven't warmed up a lot. So again, just a little demo of that. But look, so that's fast, and you can see how quickly you get your erythema, if I can say it. So let's spin round and let's do slow. It's not so much about the visible differences, but more about how you approach it. Okay, so we're going to go a bit slower on this shoulder. So again, I'm always supporting the other side too. So again, everybody's got their ways of doing things. And for me, and I don't know if anyone else feels similar, but I always intend to start slow, and then when I consciously think about it, I realise that I wasn't going as slow as I could have. So this is me thinking that I'm starting slow, and then when I consciously think about it, I realise I can go much slower. Now there's obviously a point to which it's too slow, but with the slower massage, it's about relaxation. It's about soothing, it's about calming everything down. You're still going to have an effect on the circulation, you're still going to have an effect on the lymph, still effective on the muscles, but it's much more about calming everything down, relaxing everything, slowing it down. It's about easing tension. It's about helping someone to relax. Maybe they feel tense and tight. Your effleurage is slower. You can still do the same movements, but do them in a much slower fashion. You'll still get that erythema, but it's not as hectic. It's not as fast-paced. Because it's deeper, the erythema is coming more from the intention of the movement and the effect of the movement over a longer period of time. But we're still doing these same moves. We're still getting that erythema, but it's just working a different way. In the long term, you'll get a similar result, but the reasons behind it and the physiological and the psychological effects might be different because the approach is different. And what you can also do is just pay attention to the body language of the person that you're working on. Can you see the shoulders visibly relaxing? Can you see the head starting to move, as in maybe you can tell that they're starting to fall asleep? They're getting really relaxed. Likewise, if they don't like something, can you see them getting a bit twitchy, a little bit irritated, a little bit restless? Or can you tell that they're tensing up and maybe something's a bit uncomfortable? Maybe it's a bit too fast for them, a bit too slow. So there's signs. Body language gives away a lot. Sometimes somebody will say, yeah, that's really nice, I'm enjoying that, but the body language is saying something else. So you're still going to get results. It's just in a different manner, in a different way. And what is it you're looking for? So look, we've still got erythema, but it's not as intense because we're not working so vigorously. And it's gentler and it's softer, which you would expect. So that's a very simple introduction into the differences. Why fast, why slow, why choose them? What can you see obviously in the skin when you begin? But again, there's so many different ways you can approach it. But what it really always boils down to is communication. What does someone want? What's their main goal? What do they like? What do they dislike? If they don't know because massage is new to them, then you can try different approaches and see what suits them, what they like best. And again, it might change depending on why they're there, what's been happening, what they're looking for. It can change week to week. So I'd love to know what your general preference is for massage. Do you prefer it deeper? Do you prefer it lighter, faster, slower? Do you like a mix? I'd love to know. Have a great day and I'll see you again soon.